Now that they have reset the NASCAR points for the playoffs, William Byron's actually at the top. Martin Truex Jr. right now is sitting in second place. And we ask him, how does the future look going forward for these last few races?
Yeah, we're going to be fine. I'm not worried about it. I mean, you know, looking at the first round, I felt very confident, and that was, you know, two of our best tracks to start off with, and you know, we've seen what happened there. So you can't ever be too confident. You just got to go prepare and work hard and try to go get it done. That's what we're going to do.
And for Truex, he got through the minefield that was Bristol Motor Speedway. He managed to get enough points in that race and finish high enough that it advances him on to the round of 12. And now that the points are reset with that big bag of playoff points that he had, he is second in line. So good there for Martin Truex Jr. Joey Logano, on the other hand, he did not make the cut. And Joey says there's one reason why.
Obviously not as good as we needed to be. Inconsistent, not fast enough, not scoring stage points. When you don't score stage points, that just says you're not fast enough. We've been able to manufacture finishes like we did last week, and if this was a few years ago and there wasn't stage racing, we'd be sitting in a lot better shape because we figure out a way to close races, but we don't score the points during the race because we're just not fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, you know, unfortunately, that's kind of been the narrative for Penske for much of the year. It seems like they've just been a little bit off. And Joey Logano, your defending champion, not being able to defend that championship is a big deal for him and for that organization. But he's right. When you're running in the back, those things tend to happen. And unfortunately, as he said, they just haven't been fast enough.
Brad Gilly, I think the big story of this is that's the NASCAR defending champion now on the sideline. He got involved in a crash. His left wheel was all askew, but I don't even know without the crash if he had advanced to the playoffs. They were not good Saturday night in Bristol.
No, they were not good. And, you know, I mean, he misses it by 4 points behind Bubba Wallace. And Bubba Wallace actually had a pretty decent night, especially all things considered that there were just a few people who had really good nights. And that's tough. You know, both Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney went into the playoffs just +8 above the cut line. Both Team Penske cars were struggling. And the sad thing is for Ryan Blaney, he actually had a really good first round. They collected a lot of points, but then with the reset, for a guy like Martin Truex Jr., he goes back up to the top of the standings, and he only made the next round by 5 points. For a guy like Ryan Blaney, he then goes beneath the cut line, sitting there at -3. But for Team Penske, the defending series champions, they've only got one more driver in the fight, and that's Ryan Blaney. For Joey Logano, that's tough, but you can remember when his old teammate Brad Keselowski a few years ago, when he won his championship, he didn't even make the postseason period the next year.
So a couple of past champions will not be fighting on for the title. Of course, we've already heard from one of them, and Joey Logano, the most recent champion. Kevin Harvick didn't make it. Brad Gilly talked to him after the race.
We were slow.
Brad, that's pretty succinct answer there.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. 3 words. That's really all he needed to say. And it was obvious. And, you know, just talking about Joey Logano and then talking about Kevin Harvick, there's a common theme there. They're 2 different race teams, but they both drive for Ford. And it seems like they're the ones who are struggling right now. And look, what also surprised me, because there was a follow-up question to that too. And hey, look, you've got 7 more races to try and go to victory lane. That's the one thing that he and Rodney Childers have been talking a lot about. We just want to win in the final year. And between Texas and Talladega and the Roval and Las Vegas and Homestead and Martinsville, all the 6 leading up to the finale, all Kevin said was, can't wait to get to Phoenix. I think we might have a chance to win that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of frustration at Stewart-Haas Racing right now. I mean, you know, Rodney Childers was interviewed afterwards, too, talking about I have never run this bad at Bristol in my entire career. And so you can just feel, you know, the frustration coming off of both of them. And it's no secret, Stewart-Haas, you know, they've got some work to do. What that is, we don't know, and they clearly don't know, but hopefully they figure it out soon.